All right, fam, who's ready for the freshest tracks dropping soon? Stay tuned to Simply the Best Studios podcast.
What's your favorite podcast?
Simply the Best Studios podcast, of course.
Well, you heard it here. First, tune into Simply the Best Studios podcast.
What's up with it? It's your boy Benny Van Dross, the boss. I'm in here with my sister Yolanda Johnson one more time. What's up with you?
What up?
All right, all right. So this is part 2 of the podcast that we had a couple weeks ago, but and also we veering off into something called My Brother's Keeper podcast within the Simply Conversation realm. So we wanted to continue our conversation about accountability. Me and her, we always have some of the greatest conversations over the phone, and I be feeling like we be wasting that game. Just even though we sharing it collectively, but we would like to share some of that with y'all out there. So as far as accountability, let me ask you a question: how do you personally define accountability?
When you know what's up and you say that to that person, you know you wrong, you know you lied, you know you disrespected, you know you cut off, you know you whatever. You are saying to that person, you know, yeah, I'm this way or I did that. You can own what you do.
Right.
Whatever it is, good and bad, you can own what you do.
Right, right. Good point. Because the way that I would define it is just simply that anything that happens to me is inevitably my own fault. So even if it was somebody else's actions, if somebody was to do something to me, the way I hold myself accountable is I shouldn't have put myself in that position to let that person be able to do that to me.
Okay, so yeah, exactly. But we don't have any control of other people.
Right.
So you never know what's going to happen and or what's going to trigger you
Mm-hmm.
to say or do something.
Right.
So yeah, you can have restraints and accountability for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
but you also have to stand firm and believe that someone can take you out of that zone
Right.
and something happens and it may need to happen.
Right.
It actually may need to happen. So when it happens, and if it does happen, maybe 2 or 3 days later, our mother always says, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Okay.
So maybe when I am in this zone, I said it,
Mm-hmm.
but I meant what I said.
Right.
So 2, 3 days later, when I'm apologizing, I'm not apologizing for what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm apologizing for how I said it.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. Much respect for that. So, share a time when accountability played a role in your life or your career. So, tell me a time where you had to step up and take accountability for your own actions.
So I'm gonna start with work. Work with my age, I have to sometimes work with those younger than myself.
Okay.
And in their entitlement, because I am executive assistant, legal secretary, whatever role I was at that time, it doesn't hierarchy attorney. So, but this attorney is my daughter's age.
Right.
So, how do you want me to deal with this all the time without becoming a mom? And so we had a confrontation,
Mm-hmm.
verbalization,
Right.
confrontation.
You and
And
the young
yes,
associate.
yes.
Okay.
And she's talking, I'm talking, and we're over talking each other. No one is listening because I'm the mom in this situation, so I
Absolutely.
know 100% I'm right.
Right.
But I'm not because she's the boss. So bosses do feel like they're right too. But we're not giving either one each other that respect to finish the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going back and forth. And now when I realize my part, so here's one part of accountability is silence. In the moment of this conflict, I realize we're not going no damn where.
Right.
So I'm going to let you have the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to shut up. And I'm looking out the window. But now that I'm not paying attention to you and or responding like I just was back and forth,
Right.
you say, oh, so you're not paying attention to me now.
Mm.
So we're not having a conversation now because, well, see, look at that problem. Aren't we supposed to listen and then respond?
Right.
So if I'm allowing you in this moment to talk, why are you feeling defensive because I'm not talking?
Right.
I'm letting you have the moment.
Straight like that.
So hopefully you'll let me have my moment when it's my turn.
Right.
But so we're not having a conversation, and I said, I don't really think we are.
Hmm.
So she tells me I'm dismissed.
Hmm.
She is younger than my daughter.
Right.
And immediately in my mind and in my words, so here's another part of accountability. The first one was silence.
Okay.
Know that there's a situation. Somebody needs to be an adult.
Right.
Regardless.
Right.
I must shut up.
Right.
That's the first thing. Okay.
Okay.
So now you say something disrespectful. Immediately, as a parent, I'm going to respond to that.
Right.
Quickly, abruptly, quick.
Straight like that.
Well, I need my job, I need my check, and I am at work, and I'm supposed to be professional. And I'm older than you. So
Mm-hmm.
who's the kid in this situation if I immediately in the mouth was about to be a whole bunch of something because I felt it. I knew it. It was coming.
Right.
But I didn't. Restraint.
Mm.
Hold yourself back. Hold on. Somebody, God, something was holding me back.
Right.
To prevent from saying what was about to come out my mouth.
Right. So silence and restraint, that's actually some great advice to
Yes.
just plant that seed. So y'all out there listening and want to find some accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's best to shut up and just let the other person win sometime. And then also being resilient in your own actions and just relax and
because somebody going to take you there. They
yeah.
going to take you there.
Right. So the accountability is for you to control yourself instead of, because it do take two fools to argue, and if one person be quiet, a fool can't argue by themselves. Right. So
I got up and left,
and I was
like
brilliant.
I literally got up and left.
Right.
So she went to her boss and became the victim.
Mm-hmm.
She knew she was wrong. I went to the bathroom and literally, I cried. I was so angry. When I can't say what I need to say or either punch you, I cry.
Right. Well, you got to let it out.
But I'm not going to cry in front of you.
Right. But you got to let that emotion out some kind of way.
So I had, by the time I went back to my desk and went to work like nothing had happened.
Right.
I'm going to have to process this and deal with that. Mm-hmm. Accountability. Like I need to step away, look at this. What part did we both play in this?
Right.
Because I have to be accountable for my part.
Right. So,
did I disrespect her? Did I say something to her crazy for her to say that shit to me? What did I do? You need to be able to walk away and look at you and not make everything about that person.
Right. Straight like that. So who or what influenced your perspective on being accountable? How did you?
My grandfathers.
Okay.
Because they come from a time when racism was in your face. Not like this where they smiling in your face and then they'll slam your ass on the ground. No,
Right.
this was real.
Right.
And how they handled themselves,
Mm-hmm.
how they dealt with disrespect. And the stories that I heard was like, I don't think I could have handled that like that.
Right.
Especially when you're telling me the story, I'm a much younger verbal person.
Right.
So I don't think I would handle that like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like people say today, if there was slavery, oh, that motherfucker, you wouldn't do that to me. They wouldn't have. No, you would be getting whipped and be calling a boy.
Right. I
You-
mean,
you
if
would.
they had that power,
Yeah,
probably.
your mindset in a today's mind is that wouldn't go down for you because you basing it on who you are today.
Right. Right.
If you lived in that time frame,
Right.
no.
Because it's not there, and we are stronger, and we now have the knowledge.
Wasn't that why we were slaves anyway? Because we were stronger.
Well, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So let me ask
So
you.
back to the accountability and ending it with the family. So
Mhm.
that was a work professional thing. We worked through. God told me I had to apologize,
Mm-hmm.
like literally
Even though you
on the
wasn't wrong.
BART, on the and I said no.
Mm.
Like in my mental, I was like, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't wrong.
Right.
I went to work. We didn't talk. We didn't speak. She passed right by me. Her office was right there. I'm
Mm.
right here. We didn't talk.
Mm.
We emailing each other.
Right.
It came to me again. I have to apologize.
Mm-hmm.
So in that moment, I realized because I don't follow man, I am a believer of God, and I had to listen to that, and it's coming to me more than one time. So it's definitely real. And I did go to her, and I apologized. And in that moment, she accepted my apology, and she said, "Well, I also apologize for telling you to leave my office." Okay, I said, that's not what you said. She's still not taking accountability. You
Right.
told me I was dismissed, like I'm a child. So, Lord and behold, because I did what I was supposed to do, I'm still at that firm. She is not. She had a whole nother assistant make the same accusations
Mhm.
about her, and she's not there. So boom, that's with that. And then the other accountability is family because it's with my daughter. So in knowing when you come from trauma and you come from things as hard as you try not to be what you've been through,
Right.
it still comes out. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter. And being a parent, as we've talked, there's no manual. So you can say what you're not going to do, but once you become a parent, you will find yourself parenting just like your parent
Straight
on
like
some
that.
levels.
Right. Right.
And on the times I was parenting on my parenting experience, I would go to my daughter and have this kind of conversation in depth. Let her express herself. Let her say whatever she wants, cuss, fuss, yell, scream, cry, whatever. And then I'll give her the real conversation because I need to be accountable for just probably lashing on you or whatever.
Right.
So,
Straight like that. And shout out to Brittany
Brittany,
doing her thing out there.
straight up.
Just got her doctorate or master's.
She got her master's degree on her own, but she just got, quote unquote, what everybody says, right? When you go to school, school is not for everybody. You don't have to be successful because you're not going to just be successful because you went to school.
Right.
That doesn't mean that.
Mhm.
But that was her choice and her road.
Mhm.
And because of that, and then there's the ones who do all of that, and then they wind up getting a job that has nothing to do with
Right.
what they went to school for.
Right.
So it's like, what was the purpose?
Right.
At least with her, so this is falling into the quote unquote dream job, my career job, what I went to school for job. So yeah, she got that. I told her years ago when she started school, she's way extra. I'm a simple girl. My daughter is not a simple girl
Mm-hmm.
by no means.
Extravagant.
So I'm so simple. And I told her, you will get the accolades from me on accomplishment when you start making more money than me.
Mm. Yeah.
And this job took her to that level.
So, Mama, shut up now.
Yeah.
I got you, Mama. That's a beautiful thing, truly. But
Yeah.
that's what you raised her to be. We all would
Exactly.
embellish the opportunity for
Yeah.
our children to be better than us.
Exactly.
And with Simply the Best brand, I'm trying to build it so that my children can eventually take it over and make it become what it is. I'm only planting the seed and growing it to the fruit. And then once it starts fruiting, hopefully my children will be able to take it over if they interested in
But
it.
on part one, you said what was the definition of success,
Mm-hmm.
and I said it's what you think about you and what you have accomplished, right?
Absolutely.
But another part of that I said is what our children,
Mm-hmm.
and so I can actually now finally feel at this age and in her age, my job is done.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
It's like
You're successful in that
Yes.
journey
Yeah.
of motherdom,
Yeah.
even though motherness
She
will never
still has
stop.
to learn things. Yeah, and she's still gonna call me.
Mhm.
She's still gonna be this. That's gonna still happen.
Of course.
But my job. I can hear you now and not lecture you.
Right.
I can tell you. I can give you advice and say, "Hey, you take it or leave it."
Right. Advice and teaching is two
Exactly.
different things.
Mhm.
To advise you is different than
Yes.
teaching you.
Yes.
So, what daily habits help you uh, keep up with your accountability? Like, is it something that you do every day? Like, for example, going to the gym every day keeps you accountable for your health, or praying every day keeps you accountable for your spirit, or whatever. So, what do you do on a daily basis to hold yourself accountable for your success or your life?
It's three things. It's definitely prayer and conversation with
Mhm.
God. And I talk to God just like I talk to you. So that's on the regular.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Writing it out. I have a tablet. I have a book. You can call it a journal. You can call it whatever, a diary, whatever. But I learned a long time ago in being at church, we hold a lot of stuff in. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Some things we don't want to talk about. Some things we're ashamed to talk about. Some things, if we do talk about it, we probably explode. But you still got to get that out.
Right.
So write it. And a counselor that I had told me to write in it daily, the good, bad, and the ugly. Like if I really wanted to say something to somebody, instead of calling them, write it. Like really write the whole letter. You make me this, and then you're done.
Mm-hmm.
So the prayer, the writing, and I read them too. I believe in positive people. You're feeding me positivity. Les Brown, Ayana Van Zandt. If you are, I have their books, T.D. Jakes. These are books that I have. I've read them all. I reread them. I'm rereading one now. In the meantime, from Ayana Van Zandt, and because those are my three
Mm-hmm.
to keep me on that path. And with those that I follow, having conversations with you to add in to those that I just said on the book level, when you are being fed with people and information, that helps you to stay
Mm-hmm.
in that.
And we never stop learning, no matter how old we get. It's
Exactly.
always enough information to go around. So let me ask you this: when you make a mistake and it's absolutely your fault, and you know it, and you took accountability for it, but you absolutely made a mistake, what's your process in dealing with the fact that I fucked up, or I did this wrong, or I shouldn't have did that, or whatever? So how do you address a blatant mistake that you may make in life? Because we all make them.
So when I was younger, I probably didn't do it, excuse me, as quickly. Um, I have always been intelligent enough to know I fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
When I respond to that, it was definitely an age thing.
Mm-hmm.
So again, when I was younger, I probably didn't respond with an apology or an explanation
Mm-hmm.
until a while.
Right.
But I did still though. But it
Mm-hmm.
might have been a while.
A little later.
Now at this age, and I'm not going to even say this age. I'm going to say probably from 35 to now.
Mm-hmm.
I address it immediately.
Right.
And that's with coworkers, family, friends, everybody. I address it that day. So here's a work example in working in the office. I'm responsible for quite a few things, and I'm relying on the mailroom to take care of something.
Right.
And I bring them this box. I have already stuffed this box. 500 envelopes need to go out today. They have to be postmarked today for it to be effective.
Right.
And I brought this to them. I didn't work late to do it. I did it by myself. And now I'm dropping this off in the morning. When I come in the mailroom to see after lunch, cool, this should be done. Oh, it's in the bin, ready for... That's my expectation. And it's not. I went off. I went off on them. So my bosses go off on me, right? And then I, under the underrealm mailroom, I'm going off on you.
Right.
And I leave in that moment. I said what I said, and you know, they got on it. They were probably pissed, but yet they got on it. When I came back to make sure, because now I have to make sure.
Right.
It was done. Right there in that moment, I said, I'm sorry that I went off, but I put it on my boss. Like, it would have been on me if that didn't get out in the mail.
Right.
So I'm really sorry that I came down, like, immediately.
Right.
And when I came in, they had to look like,
Right.
but once I saw it was done, made the apology, that had all left. So I was already cool with them. Then they immediately was like, it's cool, yo. That's, you know, their thing came down. Right. So immediately now. Right.
And that's a beautiful thing, because we all human, and we all make mistakes. We all get emotional sometime, and we bark. You know what I mean? And then we think about it immediately.
Yeah.
You know, and for myself, like, I've grown so much in the accountability field, in trying to run a company, or trying to deal with other human beings and other emotional people. It's like I have to remain in control of myself in order to make sure that everything is done. So if I do everything with tact, respect, and accountability, like I said, if they don't get the 500 envelopes out for whatever reason, I say, well, I should have got it to y'all a day early. I should have got it to you on Friday instead of Monday. And I make it my fault. And a lot of people who I talk to about accountability, when I say I make everything my fault regardless, they be like, no, bro, you shouldn't do that. But I do that, because what that does for me is it just makes me try to become a better human, or smarter, or harder, or faster, or, you know, just a harder worker.
So, but that's a wonderful trait. But you have to look at the situation, right?
Right.
So in backtracking on the envelope, you said you would take the fall for that, right? Okay, I can do that. But the reason why it happens is because you need to look at the situation. If we have to manually lick a stamp and put it on 500 envelopes, that might be a problem.
That's a lot of lick.
But if we have a whole machine that we really can put like 10, 20 envelopes in a time,
right.
I'm not going to take that blame.
Right, because we got AI to do that.
I'm not going to do that.
So that leads me to, and that's a great segue to the next question. So how do you or we balance self-compassion or being tough on ourselves when we do fall short? Because we do have to give ourselves some grace sometimes for being a human, and we are allotted mistakes. We're allowed mistakes. You know what I mean? But how do you take it light on yourself? See, I don't take it light on myself when something bad happens to me. And so I'm trying to figure out, how do I self-compromise, or, you know, give myself some compassion sometimes?
We had said earlier that everything is a lesson. It's a lesson. It's something you're supposed to learn. So I don't really think that there's a 100% answer, because every situation is different. Things come up unexpectedly, totally out of your mind. Right. You know, like you didn't even know this was gonna happen. So how can you say how you're supposed to be?
Right.
So you just have to be at the place in your life where you're comfortable with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever comes up, you know that now at this age, I know I'm gonna take a breath. I'm gonna hold on, hold on, hold on. You don't need to say nothing. Like, hold on. Get this in. The situation, the problem, the conversation, the whatever. Hold on. Take it in and learn from the take in on how you should probably address that. Right back again. If you hold on, you take it in. Maybe that gives you a little time to observe the situation. Is this my fault or is it their fault?
Right. Right.
Take that minute to figure that out first before you take the pressure
Mm-hmm.
or lash out.
Right.
Take a quick, it's a second.
Mm-hmm.
When you 100% know, mm-mm, mm-mm, this you.
Right.
We had a conversation about a whole phone call. We won't even get in depth. You
Right.
felt a certain way. You immediately was like, but in a second, you said, wait, let me, hello? Yeah, good.
Right.
What if you didn't take the second
Right.
and you did everything you said you was going to do?
I was gonna lash out and act an idiot.
And then what?
It
See?
ended up being wonderful because I took some time and I gave myself some grace. And at the end of the day,
second.
yeah. And
Take
at
a
the end of the
second.
day, I realized where I was wrong at. At first, I didn't
Exactly.
think that I was wrong in my
Right.
brain, and I should be able to do this. But then when I took that 1 second that you talking about,
Mhm.
I said, well, maybe I was wrong in doing this in such a way. So then I had a
And
conversation.
look at the confirmation of that situation because you took the minute before you talked to me.
Right.
It wasn't I talked you down.
Right.
No, you had already told me how you went up and how you came down.
And I called you to tell you that I was proud of myself, in
Exactly.
fact, because I had reached this new
Exactly.
form of accountability.
Mhm.
And that's the reason that we talking about this. So let me ask you this, though. How do you hold your friends or your family accountable without damaging the relationship? Because, people will put their ass on their shoulder immediately if you check them about something they did wrong. And then you will lose a whole friend, similar to what you was just saying. I could have lost a whole friend if I didn't
Stop
hold
yourself.
him or accountable or me accountable for those
Yeah.
actions. So how do you hold your family or your friends accountable without damaging the relationship?
So with that one, I do take in the part you said. So okay, so then I guess it goes to it depends on the person, unfortunately, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't agree, and I don't agree with you taking the accountability when it's about your job or your business.
Right.
Because if it was somebody's fault, I'm not taking that.
Right.
But if it's family
Mm-hmm.
and close friends, and I mean close friends, I don't mean associates. I don't know. I know everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean everybody getting that same grace.
Right. Absolutely.
So depending on them, then I take that.
Mm-hmm.
You may get so many times before I verbalize my frustration, irritation, disappointment, whatever the word is.
Right.
You may get way more than anyone else. But it's gonna come out. But I guess again to the answer is I give those chances because I take that on.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a me thing.
Mm-hmm.
I might be taking their action or actions or conversation wrong.
Right.
So I spend several days on me
Right.
before I even let you know you pissed me off.
Right. Because, and as my big sister, though, I mean, because it's easy for me to even answer this, or from my variation of the thought, because you, my big sister, raised me, almost my mama in a stranger way, but you check me when I'm wrong. You know what I mean? And our relationship never really gets damaged. Sometimes it may take a week off, or we don't talk or something if you check me in a proper way. But me also now holding accountability, then I'm now smart enough to listen.
Right.
Why didn't she like that? Hey, she only wants my best at interest.
So we're going to go back to age.
Mm-hmm.
When I said something when I was in my 20s and you were in your teens, it was not acceptable for you.
Right.
When I said something when you were in your 20s and I was maybe in my 30s, but it was not acceptable to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's self-change once we change mentally and emotionally. Then when I come at you as an adult, it's not that I'm saying anything different.
Right.
I'm still saying the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's more, I'm not demanding it of you, maybe, or disrespecting you, maybe, whatever that feeling is, right? Because it is a feeling when somebody is saying something to us. What are we taking? What are we actually hearing? Is what I like. From Ayanna Van Sant saying, "What did you hear from that?" When somebody expressed themselves, what did you hear?
Right.
Because sometimes when they repeat it, it's kind of fucked up.
Right.
And they be like, oh, okay, see, now in this moment I can correct myself. Okay, see, damn, bro, I didn't mean it like that.
Right.
Damn.
Because it could feel like you barking when
Right.
you're really teaching. And the same thing we said earlier about like Brittany.
The kids, yes.
Yeah, either you're giving advice or
Yes.
you're teaching.
Mhm.
So even the delivery of
it may be more harsher when I'm teaching.
Right.
So when I was teaching you, you was like,
Right.
but now
Versus advising.
now I'm just advising.
Right.
So now you could just sit there and let me just talk forever.
Yeah, and I was always taught too that you always listen to 100% of what somebody says, and then you apply the 10 to 30 to 50% that
Right.
applies to you. So you can give me all the advice in the world, and that's bullshit.
Right.
But that right there, though, that was a jewel. So I'm gonna take that jewel.
And how much of what someone is saying to you do they do?
Right.
Because I'm not listening to you. I'm going to let you talk.
Mm-hmm.
But if I already know in my mind, you don't even do that.
Right. So that
why am I going to... And I don't need to argue with you. I don't need to cut you off. I don't need to be like, I'm going with that. You know, I don't need to do that. Because I already know.
Right.
You don't even live like that. You ain't even rolling like that.
Right. So
you full of shit.
So a great quote I always heard, the great quote was always, practice what you preach.
Exactly.
Practice what you preach.
But don't throw a stone at a glass house,
right.
Whatever, all that.
But the real quote is, only preach what you practice. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Don't practice what you preach.
Exactly.
Preach what you practice.
That is.
You feel me? That way I can tell you about, because this is what I'm actually doing. Right. So like you just said, if you ain't even living that way, how can you give me advice about this? Nigga, you don't even live like that.
You're not even doing
You telling me about the gym and you fat as fuck and don't even go to the gym, and you telling me about some push-ups. Now, if you go to the gym and you doing hella push-ups,
or you were and now you smaller, I'm listening.
Right, exactly. So don't preach, don't practice what you preach what you practice. You understand me?
Exactly.
So on a greater side of this though, we got Janet Jackson tonight. Ooh, Janet Jackson, man. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, huh?
Right. It's tonight, all-time favorite. So, I told you earlier, this goes way back for me. This is like, so I guess for the youngsters who do Beyonce and
youngsters
and Chris Brown and all that, this is mine.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like, I had no intention of going to a Beyonce concert. No disrespect to Beyonce. I love her. I love her music and everything. I literally grew up watching Janet Jackson.
Of course.
We are the same age, and I said earlier, my first concert ever was the Jackson 5.
Right.
So this is just like one of those things.
Right. Las Vegas, it don't stop. And make sure you tell Janet, if you get the opportunity to see her, that me and my wife need a sister wife. And no disrespect, baby. You know I love you, but we gonna have Janet come take care of us. So you feel me? We gonna be all right. You know,
she
Janet
comes with a young child.
Shit.
Y'all gonna be.
We just had a young grandkid, so they gonna
That's
be
true too.
they gonna be cousins. You understand me? So Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm so pumped up. I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Where is it?
It's at the Resort World.
Oh, okay.
And her tickets, just like these, when she first came out, was something I wasn't willing to do.
Right.
You know, much love to her, but I was like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I gave up not going to go see Prince at a smaller venue because of the price. I just couldn't justify it. Like, I want to see you, but 400? I don't know.
That's kind of steep.
I don't know.
When I could just watch it on YouTube.
So I watched it from January till now. She came out, and tickets was crazy. I was like, okay. And each time I kept checking, I was gonna do it. Like, shit, I got the money. I'm gonna do it. Get it. But then I always talk myself out.
Right.
And so this time I looked on there and I scrolled over to where I'm willing to see, and bam, $100.
Ooh, that's a jug for Janet.
It was like it's like $100 and some change. Like, it's literally, and that's with the service fees and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that was hit, bought, done.
Yeah, that's
I wasn't
Janet.
making no phone calls, asking nobody to go. I'm going by myself. I got the little, and I'm on the aisle.
Right.
I'm on the end seat right there. So that's dancing room.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, that's dancing room.
That's my stage right there.
Yeah, I mean,
they're gonna be like, who is that? Who is that?
Right, Miss Johnson, if you're nasty. You understand me? Straight like that, though, right? So, we also have been talking about this Wizard of Oz thing at the Sphere.
Yeah.
And even my friends from out of town, they often call me and ask me had I been to the Sphere, and yet, but I watched it being built. I pass by it every day.
Right? Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is.
I hadn't been inside yet, so we finna do this Wizard of Oz thing pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So.
And my friend Julie, she just went. She saw it, and she said it was incredible.
Amazing.
You are a part of the Wizard of Oz.
Right.
You definitely are. It's stuff falling down in the audience, and
right, like
when
really
they fly
real
in,
shit.
It's some real. You know how what is
confetti or something.
Yeah, but you know how what is that place called in LA? Universal Studios. You know how they attempt to take you on the trip.
Right.
You be on the ride
and
like,
make it real.
Make you feel. This, she said, is like you feel like you in the movie.
And it's here forever. It seemed like now.
It seemed like, because we looked it up.
It's gonna be a mainstay.
I think that was a staple for them to add something like that.
Yeah.
That's a part of the tourist attraction.
Right.
Oh, I can't wait for that either.
Absolutely. So we're gonna do that. So
yeah.
We right here at My Brother's Keeper podcast. You feel me? Simply Conversations, Simply the Best Studios. We tried our best to do it our way and give some great advice. You can listen and have an automatic bullshit separator, meaning listen to 100% of what we say and apply the 20 or 30 or 50 or 90% that applies to you. And at the end of every podcast, I'm going to always say, go get your colonoscopy, your prostate check your high blood pressure, check your diabetes. It can be beaten. You know what I mean? And it is what you eat. Women too.
Take
also.
your test too.
Yeah, because we already evolving to the strongest black people as we should. Yeah, we light skinned and Indian or whatever, but we black people. We all stem from Africa, so we need to stay strong. We need to love each other. We need to, take accountability for our own actions. You didn't get that job because you didn't fill out the application properly. Don't blame it on the white man didn't want me in there or whatever. Nigga, tighten up your shit.
And maybe you lied on your resume and you're not really...
Right, you a felon, nigga. Just go to places where they hire you, bro. And this is accountability, and that's full circle to what we saying. Be accountable for your own actions. Yes. The world is not against you. The world ain't hating on you because you handsome or you light skinned or you dark skinned or you a woman or you fat or whatever. The world not hating on you, man. Mm-hmm. It's just about taking your accountability and doing better the next time. And with that being said, we simply the best. You understand me? And we out of here.
Yay!
Yay!